leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Car era lore. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
party.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits, yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below, then head up top, smash that like, repost, a bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It does warm up the room and does us a solid. A little sleepy start here on this Friday morning, so this will be extra appreciated today while you're up there. If you missed any shows earlier this week, the carousel is pinned up top there. The newsletter, will come out this afternoon. It is a Friday, so if you've not yet subscribed, we'd love that. Head over to coffeewithcaptain.com. Drop your email in there. We don't spam you. We just send out the once a week recap and includes all the replays, all the links to the shows. As always, we're live over on YouTube and Abstract. We didn't get into the Abstract conversation yet, but probably on tap today. If anyone feels like diving into that, I'm going to talk a little bit of MegaETH allocation and Open Friday. We did it last week. Again today, may or may not have someone jump in the co-host spot here in a little bit, waiting on the confirmation, but we genuinely do have a fun week lined up next week. We're going to be kicking off. We're going live on Zora. We're going to start streaming on Zora, which that means is our first Coffee with Captain Creator coin is coming. I see Steve is not in the audience right now, so I have not even run this by him yet, made an executive decision, and we are going live with the Creator coin on Zora, and we're going to start streaming over there next week. The debate is whether we do it just go live, or we actually do something. There's a 11 a.m. as if you were here yesterday, I think it was Jonah mentioned an account over there that's, doing it a little more with than just a token, working with some other creators and whatnot. So we'll see, but definitely looking forward to that. We've got a good week of guests and co-hosts lined up as well. And today's day is all about, do we make our flights? Steve and myself both flying today. think Steve earlier today. Mine is not till late tonight. So hoping both the airports I'm flying out of and flying into are on the watch list. 10% of the flights are getting cut. So, I mean, I hunt EV everything I do. And if you tell me I got 90% odds and it's a 2-game parlay at 90% each, I'll roll with that. So we should be good, but there's a chance I end up a little extra online over the weekend if I don't make the flight. But that said, happy Friday, all. Hope you all had a good week and survived this. Supermoon was the supermoon did its part. Just no other pump after that. If you wrote it and closed it, you're good. But we are back down below that 100K threshold this morning. I think. Let me double check. Maybe it bounced. Let me pull up chart real quick. Yeah, 99,524. Not great. Kathy Wood just slashed her Bitcoin price target by a few $100,000, and we haven't even had the Zcash conversation on the show. I don't know, man. I saw it, felt pretty. I mean, I'll be very honest. It seemed like it was some of these Bitcoin whales that were dumping their OG bags. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the Bitcoin whale charts, because it is actually pretty. It's a very material amount of Bitcoin they have sold over the last. Yeah. So actually, it's not the tweet I'm looking for. If anyone has this, there's been a few that have floated around recently, just like the pure amount of Bitcoin that these OG whales have sold over the last few months. And I don't know. I don't know anything. Call me tinfoil hat. I just believe that it's these Bitcoin whales. They're rotating from Bitcoin to Zcash to get 2-3x out of that they weren't going to get at Bitcoin at 100K, at least not for a while. So there was one on November 4th that bought 10,000 Bitcoin, hodled it for 14 years, and sold on the 4th for $1 billion. Throw out the exact tweet I was looking for. If anyone sees this, I know there's been a few, but yeah, several whales have literally exited 10-figure positions. Is that right? Yes, 10-figure positions. And maybe they just took that all to cash. I have a feeling that a lot of this Zcash pump is a direct rotation. I don't think people, I actually, if you were listening to Modern Market, I'm on Brett's take here. I don't think people really care about privacy. Might some of these OGs? Yeah, sure. I just don't think this, this is the ETH trade of this cycle, ETH being ETH from last cycle. I don't buy it. I don't think they're actually using it. I just think it's a meme trade. And I'm not saying it's going down. It's probably going to continue to go up. I just, I don't know. That doesn't excite me here where it's at. I should have got in the 170, 180s when all the KOLs started talking about it, but probably just going to stay sidelined for this one. Other things on my tick list today: MegaETH. Actually, I'll take nominations for title if anyone in the chat has a catchy one this morning. But the topic of conversation, I do want to talk a little bit about abstract, probably a little bit about MegaETH allocation. Full disclosure, as we do mention, we'll talk about tokens we hold from time to time here in the show. Not financial advisors, certainly not your financial advisor. Don't join us for that. Just want to share some fun, some information, education along the way. We've shared previously. We hold some fluffles. I did get 100% allocation, small, but I did get 100% of my allocation for MegaETH, so I'm pleased with that. Actually, wish I would have thrown more at it, but Monero also been performing well. Mesh has been long on Zcash and Dash since early October. Privacy coins have been an overlooked meta, it seems. Yeah, I mean, I get it, and salute to all those that have been on this privacy coin meta. That's it, Steve. Steve wins. This is it. This is why you have good co-host, because they can multitask. Actually, without even to say anything, he'd already have sideline on Zcash in the title. I actually tried to copy paste it. You know, one thing Twitter could do, X could do a better. Oh, I got it. Never mind. As I was saying that, like the copy paste feature it's fine. The search needs improved, but the copy paste feature is fine. There we go. Appreciate the assist, Steve. Yeah, that had already been up there like 7 minutes ago. I had Steve been co-hosting today. Safe travels, anybody. Hope you get your flights. I don't know if you caught it when I was firing up cold open. I too am flying this evening, and both my departing and arrival airport are on the 10% list. So, Poly market, Couchy, where are you at? Like, why don't we have odds on this? This is a market that is actually meaningful to the people. We may not be, you know, some nation state president or, you know, some celebrity, but, you know, this is affecting thousands, maybe, I don't know, maybe millions of people across the USA. What is the, I need to know, what is the live odds on, is my flight going to get canceled? What airports are being affected? Let's get down to the details. Is my flight going to get canceled or not? I would trust, if Polymarket said I'm canceled, I probably wouldn't even go to the airport. They're running pure. A little slow start this morning. I am out way past my bedtime last night. I'm not going to share the details there, but pool day related adjacent Von Frunten, pool day adjacent Von Frunten. Little draggy. Did go to the gym, but it was like a throwaway gym session. One of those, like, I drag myself to the gym, like sleepy. I should just take the day off. I usually get, you know, I'm usually up at 5 at the gym by 5:30, get a good workout in. I'm back. I'm walking Duke by the time Modern Market even starts. Today was like walking into the gym right before it started. I don't even think I was out of the sauna before Modern Market came on, and kind of did, like, I don't even know, like, it was a leg day, so it was a fun one for me just to throw away. I'm not even joking. I think I did like 3 exercises and bounced. One of them being abs, the other one being hanging. So let me see. I literally just I did one thing of legs, and then I hung. I did abs, and I left. That was my morning at the gym. So little sleepy, but I do have some little extra boost in the coffee this morning. Shout out to Mayhem and anyone else who appreciates fine flowers. We'll get rolling here. I just need about 20-30 minutes for the caffeine and other performance enhancements to kick in, and we'll be live. But truly, Zcash, a little bit of abstract. Anthony, welcome to the channel. Appreciate the subscription. I feel like an actual YouTube streamer. Like, we don't get this often. I don't know. I'm curious, Anthony, how did you find us? Can I ask that? Are you a bot? How did you find us? Because we don't really promote our YouTube channel other than this show. Our primary platform is X Spaces. We talk about, someone just asked me this morning in a coffee shop. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a tech podcast. I don't know why. I need to get over it and just wear proud on my sleeve that it's a crypto blockchain tech podcast. But yeah, we talk about blockchain tech, crypto, all things related, from tokens to DeFi to NFTs, etc. Anthony is a real person, was recommended because he follows similar channels. Awesome. Well, great to hear. Payne, if you're listening in, it's working. We're slowly but surely. Von Frunten, we are coming for Sun Frunten. Now that we're in the discoverability of the YouTube street, so we're coming for Sun Frunten. It's only a matter of time before we break through. But no, appreciate you tuning in. All seriousness, if you're on X, Anthony, my handle is I'll actually just drop it in the comments. It's just at Chris Jordan. I go by Captain Zwingli on X, and we go live on X every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And we also stream, as you found us, on YouTube, Abstract, and X Video. X, our primary platform as far as distribution goes, but we expanded into the video realm earlier this year. And yeah, great to see you. Welcome. And it is open stage. So if you're ever wanting, if there's a topic we're talking about that you're extra passionate about, or have knowledge in, or you know someone on the team or a founder, something we're talking about, open stage, feel free to come over, join us on X, throw in a request, and we'd love to have you join the conversation. Anthony is winning the YouTube chat. Anthony's going to take Solomon and Von Frunten's crown over there in here shortly. Says, how do you find out some of these crypto are scam or not? Because I've read horror stories and articles of people buying crypto, and it's just the person who created it to rip you off. Yeah, I mean, so this is, I guess I would say this. Trying to think, like, It's actually a great question. It's been a while since someone asked me something like this. My actual real advice would be assume it's a scam first. Assume it's a scam. Your default should be this is a scam. I would say assume not only is it a scam that someone's going to dump the token on you or rip you off, assume that it is a scam, like assume it's a phishing link or it's a scam contract or a honeypot or something to where worst case scenario, not only is the whatever you buy going to be a rip off and go to zero, but it will be a malicious link that's going to wipe everything that's in your wallet. So never rush into anything, never FOMO into anything, never click a random link. Yes, I'm very biased here, but find a show like this. Find this show, or you mentioned some others, people that you can trust, people that have been around for a while. You can probably see the title. This is episode 1026. I'm sure we've been wrong many times, but I will take pride in the fact that I don't believe we've ever steered anyone to a token or a project or crypto that was a known scammer or malicious or a known rug. Have some failed? Yeah, absolutely. But we do our best to, that team. Now, it's also different if you're talking protocols and chains versus some random meme coin that just got launched on Pump Fun. But the biggest thing I would say is find a group of people that you can trust, your inner circle, if you will. A lot for many of us here, a few hundred every morning. It's been our Coffee with Captain community, and then we hang out outside of the show in the DGen Network War Room Discord channel. But he goes on to say, being unrealistic, bit too critical of crypto. It's easy for someone to set up crypto and create a Ponzi scheme position, make money. Yeah, absolutely. It's very easy. If you have access to the internet and like literally $10, I believe, you could launch a token. Most of those aren't going to bond. Most of those aren't going to gain any traction. But people who have clout, people who have a following, it's very easy to get something to pump and then dump on you. We don't really play in those games here. Like we don't really talk much meme coins, ones that capture real attention, real motion. But even most of those are a short-term trade. Fartcoin, for instance, is down 90% from its top. Rest in peace. Apologies, Zane had to comment on that. But I think find teams in how they move, and typically anything worthwhile, typically it can happen, but most often it doesn't just come out of the thin air. It's not like a stealth launch. Like it's usually years in the making. And I think that a good example actually is this MegaETH allocation. I've been beating the MegaETH drum. I've been a MegaETH bull, not from the jump. I wasn't in the echo round, did buy some fluffles, got in this most recent round, this allocation. And do I think it has attention? I mean, simply, if you knew nothing about the chain, if you knew nothing about how performant it was, if you knew nothing about how the team's been building or who's on the team or what builders they've attracted and the funds they've raised, if you knew none of that, and all you could do is go look at the now public or semi-public list of who's invested in this last round. Of that list, who's locking up their funds for 12 months. That's real signal. That's about, I believe, I've said this before, I'm saying it again, I said it yesterday in the war room, I believe MegaETH has executed pre-launch of a chain better than anyone I have personally seen launch a chain since I got here really in the space in January 21. I've not seen a chain launched with this level of execution in the entire time I've been here. And from my perspective, it's not even remotely close. This isn't shot at anyone else. There's other chains I'm a fan of. The only one I could think could hold a candle to the pre-launch of MegaETH is Coinbase, a large publicly traded company that isn't a bootstrap startup. They didn't have to raise funds. Coinbase is, I don't know what, I had to look. I don't even know. Coinbase is all I want's market cap, $80 billion company. Like, very easy for them to spin up a layer 2 blockchain, not just with their capital and their Coinbase Ventures, but with the clout and top of funnel they have from their from their user base. Coinbase did a good job. They've done some good job with Coinbase Ventures in terms of investing in their builders. I truly believe MegaETH has done a better job as a bootstrap startup that is now raised. I mean, you can't even call them bootstrapped anymore. They've raised 3 rounds, and just go look at the list. Go look at the people who are not only in this round, but willingly locking up their investment for a full year. Could the token be half price of what they just raised out a year from now? It could be. I can't see the future. I don't think it'll be. And it's not just whereas like the Zcash thing, like I don't know if anyone's really using it for the privacy. I'm sure some are. I shouldn't say no one. Definitely some people are. I don't think near enough. There's not nearly enough volume and activity there to justify the current valuation, in my opinion. Now, the space could determine that, well, we need a privacy coin in the top 10 of all crypto tokens, and it stays there. MegaETH is an actual chain that people are going to use because will be the most performant blockchain on the planet, period. They proved this in test environments. I have no reason to believe mainnet won't execute the same way. And faster is better. Like it operates like Web2. Do they need more than that? Yeah. But that in itself is a unique selling proposition. It's a differentiator. They're doing things that no one before them has been able to do. Some of the chains like Solana, their claim to fame and why so many people go there and why so many people trade there is it is fast. It's faster. Now, is it faster? How they're building is what's mostly impressive. They're building with, at launch, revenue in mind, not just on sequencer fees. They've got stablecoin partnership with Athena. They're just how they went about their fundraising, how they went about building community, how they went about tracking builders. Let me see if I can go find. I have not done a good job sharing. I'll get our guests up here in a second. I've not done a good job of doing some screen grabs, so I'll bring in our 2 guests and I'll go grab some of these tweets. But they have just done an incredible job identifying builders, working with these builders. They've done multiple hacker houses where they bring a group of builders together for a full month. They work together and they help them network. And oh my goodness, Sunfrontin is trading memes. I just saw this. We are in trouble. When Sunfrontin starts flexing P&Ls on the timeline, I might be my retirement day. But in all seriousness, back to Mega, they help these builders fundraise. Like, could these builders, are they locked into some multi-year agreement? They can't leave MegaETH? I don't think so. Are they exclusive to MegaETH? I don't think so forever. But at launch, they're going to have not 1, not 2, but multiple novel apps that seem pretty cool. We haven't seen before in crypto. And these builders aren't just doing it for some points or a TGE or Blast Gold. Like, they've really built real relationships. They're really working. Again, I don't think we've seen a chain. I've not done this, so I say this from my perspective, full disclosure. I don't think we've seen a chain work this close with their builders and make them feel like part of the organization pre-launch. Maybe some do it now. I'm sure like Polygon is really close with the Polymarket team, if I were to guess. Maybe they did all that in the beginning. I don't think we've seen this based on what I hear from other teams, what we hear from founders, why so many teams leave chains and go to new chains. It's not just there's token allocation over here. It's, we weren't getting support. We weren't getting help. We're like, why would we stay here? What's our reason to stay here? Why would people stay on Coinbase? Well, Coinbase has millions of users that they can potentially onboard to you. That's a reason to stay at Coinbase or on Base, excuse me. Why stay on Solana? Oh, it's fast. Why stay on Ethereum mainnet? Oh, it's secure. There's all these devs. The L2s, the L3s, they have to find. You were having the 8-chain conversation. They have their flagship app. They have their, dare I say, true north. Like, who knows if other side's going to be a hit? At least they have something. They have something that they can build around that's exclusive to Ape Chain. It's not going anywhere. I think that's critically important for these chains in a very competitive environment. And MegaETH pre-launch has multiple dApps like that. That's not even necessarily their flagship per se, but they're doing the table stakes, all the traditional DeFi dApps and reporting and all the stuff you would expect a top tier chain to have. in addition to that, bringing on a wave of builders. So I'm going to go grab some of these tweets now, take a beat. So we got Poppy and Machiavelli up here. GM, gentlemen, let's go Poppy first. Poppy, are you also sidelined on Zcash, or did you get in on this trade?
Nope. Sideline.
Thoughts? Are you buying the privacy narrative? Is it just a short-term meta while the space is bored?
Question. Well, I'll tell you, I don't really know. Was there news? Because I was at an event last night and somebody's like, yo, did you see Zcash? And I'm like, honestly, no. I heard about it. Didn't it pop the other day too?
Yeah, I mean, the chart looks insane. Let me pull up the chart.
Yeah, I saw something this morning. It was just like one green candle after like massive, slightly downside consolidation. You know, it was pretty much consolidating, and then all of a sudden, just monster wick. So, what? Like, I wonder what set it off. Was there news? Is it memeing? Because like
GOGs,
whales,
the whales, yeah,
whales.
You see here, last 24 hour, or in the last day, it's up 16%. In the last week, it's up 70%. It started popping, I guess, November 3rd. So 4 days ago. It was even before that, actually. Let me go back.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's basically somebody saying believe in something. It'd be like, I think, unless there's like significant development, if there's nothing significant happening, then I would just take it as a, the equivalent to like someone stepping in and sweeping, 300 bored apes, floor price goes back to 100, like, is it going to stay there? But I don't know. Maybe there's news. There was a blockchain futurist conference. Maybe they spoke there. I don't know. I need to do some research.
I don't believe there was any news. The first time I saw, I'm going to see if I can find the original post. Mert started bull posting it about a month ago. Like Mert was probably, I think, the first person I saw bull posting it, and then now he's made it like his whole personality. He's went from Solana bull to Zcash bull. And it was around the same time that all these OG Bitcoin whales started dumping their Bitcoin.
Right.
I don't think that is a coincidence. I think a lot, like, I'm not saying all of them, but it doesn't take much. If you just sold $1 billion of Bitcoin, you can go pump any chart.
Correct.
And
correct.
I think you're right. I think it's kind of the equivalent of like a floor sweep. And man, Mert tweets a ton.
While you're looking for it, this is the thing though, right? Like, I do think security tokens have their role. And it was I was early in crypto, 2015, 2016. And I heard about Zcash. Zcash been around for a while. Monero is the other one. Mm-hmm. And I had Monero early. I don't remember exactly when Zcash came, but like the idea of taking a transaction hash, making it private, I think there's a place for that. But I don't think, unless there's this massive breakthrough, I personally wouldn't be top sending this chart for sure. I probably wouldn't touch it. That's the issue, right? With some of these, we'll call it a sweep. If the sweep is just because of one person's conviction.
Well, I don't think it's one person. I think it's become multiple people, right? I think it's
if one guy starts it, right? I mean, maybe it's a group of guys. Maybe they get together. Hey, guys, let's blow this chart up, make some noise. Or one guy started it, then the rest FOMO.
I'm not even joking. I'm seriously, like, I follow Mert. I see him on my timeline often. My mind is actually blown this morning how much of a volume shooter he is. I really did not know. I'm not trying to find a post like his first one, and I've been scanning since we started, and it's just. The guy is, I mean, I guess this is how you want something to pump, go look at Mert's feed, and someone who I presumably doesn't need a coin to pump, and the man is working for his bags. That's respect. It's insane. Like, it really is. I mean, it's not insane. It's the guy's up, at least 3x since he started bull posting. And I think it's also, it's a Bitcoin fork, right? With the privacy features. So it's like, yeah, it's just like, I think it's an easy narrative for whales to rotate into and get behind, and let's pump this thing. And could it stick? It could. Does feel like I'd be top blasting now. I said I wasn't going to top blast it. I don't know, man. I may go open. I may go.
It feels like manipulation, Cap. Like, when you look at it and like then you just watch the ecosystem, it just feels like it's been gamed. And like the average individual out here in the ecosystem doesn't like to get into something that feels like it's being gamed.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at an article, CoinDesk, which is probably pay to play. And maybe not, I don't know. But it's just saying it's like increased interest in privacy infrastructure and technical upgrades from the electric coin company have driven the rally, along with rising popularity of the Zashi wallet.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. Like, I'm not going to say it's all because as it's the same paradigm cabal, they run this industry. I do think there's certainly probably some manipulation here. That said, like, until it's not, right? Like, there is something to be said that it takes attention to pump, and sometimes it's like it's like fake it till you make it from a token standpoint. Like, people
it could work, right? It could stick. I mean, that's the reality. Like, now everybody, I mean, you're talking about it, you're thinking about getting in. So it's it's like GameStop.
Yep.
Right? Like, people just decided to take GameStop and run with it. And sometimes that's just what society does. Takes a couple people, leaders or influential people or people with money and all the other things, and say, you know what? Today we're making Zcash king. They got it. Everybody's talking about it. So, they're getting tons of media, tons of press. I don't see anything in the articles that's like, earth-shattering 1,200% gain worthy, but they chose Zcash.
Yeah, I am. So I just got a DM. I'm not going to out the individual, but I made a post this morning about. I'm shifting gears, hard shift here. Actually, I will segue. Proper segue. I am not bullish privacy chains. I'm not bullish privacy coins. I understand why some people would want to use them. I believe I'm on the other side of this, that I think non-private wallets, non-private coins are going to become increasingly important due to things like this MegaETH allocation. I believe our social reputation, our social credibility, our on-chain history, our on-chain holdings, I think all that stuff is becoming increasingly important. And I think there's a future where if all you're doing is on privacy chains, it very well could cost you getting into an allocation, or your allocation being a 10% of what you would have got if you had that on-chain history. I think that, and I guess there's ways that you can still show all that without making it public. I just don't think most people care. It's like, we all give Google, and not all, most of us still give Google and ChatGPT our data. It's worth the trade-off. And at first it was weird to me when I got in crypto that everything is public and on chain and anyone can see anything. And I don't think it's that deep. I don't think most people care. And I think the actual opposite, that your on-chain history, your on-chain credibility is becoming increasingly important as chains, protocols, upcoming TGEs get more and more sophisticated with how they're doing, with how they're curating their community. You want good, you don't want just people that are going to come in and dump. You don't just want farmers. You don't want Cybils. And the better you curate your community, those who get token allocation, those who get into your pre-sale, the better chances of having success. I truly believe this. And one example that hit the headlines yesterday was this MegaETH allocation. And this is public again, so I'm not sharing anything that's not already out there. But there was a handful of individuals that got full 100% allocation at the top 186,000 entry minus their discounts. Kook, a known KOL, was one of them, and got a lot of pushback, got a lot of critique on the timeline. How could you do this? How could you give this to Kook? I know his personality is not for everyone. The DM I just got says Kook is a rugger, and why do we keep letting people get away with it? Got proof from March 24 of him rugging. He's rug multiple pre-sales, runs away with the money, and states his account was hacked each time. I don't know that to be true. I've seen that in one occasion that I got verifiable evidence that seemed not to be the case. I don't think he's a rugger. Maybe he is. I've not seen something that proves that other than other people on the timeline hating on. Now, has Kook gotten paid to shield tokens? Yeah. So have a lot of KOLs on this app. He discloses it most of the time. Has Kook gotten paid to FUD other tokens? Yeah. He also discloses that some of the time. I'm not saying I move the same way as Kook does in this space, but for the longest time, I've thought he's a pretty good trader. He is early to a lot of things that do well, and he walks the talk. He does trade on chain. He makes the moves. He's not just yapping and not doing anything on chain. And it came out with the MegaETH allocation that he has one of the top on-chain accounts. He locked up his allocation for 12 months. He's someone you want in your holding your token. You would like him to be a bull. He has motion. He gets people. He gets eyeballs on stuff. And I'm someone who would like to, not like to believe. I do carry myself with integrity here. I'm above board. If I've ever said anything that's done anyone wrong, it's certainly never been with intent. I don't mind Kook. I like following Kook. I've got a lot of alpha from Kook's account. He calls a lot of good things. Also is often right about things that are bad plays or going to zero. Like, he's got a pretty good track record. Now, has he done some things that I wouldn't do? Sure. So have a lot of people that are put on pedestals a lot higher than Kook is. So I know this is controversial. And again, I'm not going to out the individual who sent that to me. I'd be happy to take a look at other information. I also think we're very quick to call things rugs here. And sometimes someone talks about a token, it goes to zero. It's not always the person who talked about it. It's not always a rug. Sometimes you just talk about things that go to zero. Now, I'm also saying he didn't. I'm not saying that he didn't do that. But when you look at on-chain history, I will take MegaETH's word for it that they analyze, at least the wallets he provided, they analyzed everything and they didn't find us. And it's not just MegaETH. I saw others then after they did it, try to go like catch him in a gotcha, and there was nothing there. One even had some AI thing go in. I don't know what LLM they used, but they had an AI thing go in and look at all of his on-chain history from all his known wallets, and they found zero instances of malicious, actions. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding text today, or excuse me, tweets, but I am quite literally striking out. I couldn't, but well, I'm going to blame Mert and I'm going to blame Bread. These two, like, I also realize why I'm stuck below 40,000 followers and why I'm not a real KOL, because I'll send I'll talk during the show for 2 hours. I'll send a few tweets during the day. I'll talk about some things I find interesting. I do have an immense amount of respect for these reply guys. It is reply guys who are founders, and just like, this isn't the one I'm looking for. But I'm going to go and share it why I found this one. I'm going to keep looking for Bread's breakdown on Kook, but here's some of your favorite KOLs and how much they got filled. These were max bids, 166K unlocked. CBB got 0 filled. That's interesting. Farouk got 25K filled. Irene down got 2.6K filled on a max bid. Zeneca 51K. I'm curious why they only filled half of his. It was unlocked. That's why. So all these unlocked, this makes sense. And you can go down again. These are ones that said, I'm not locking it for 12 months. I want mine at launch. Presumably they're all outside of the United States. Less than a max bid unlocked. Bold Leonidas bid 165K, 2.6K filled. The worst thing to come out of this is Bold Leonidas is not nearly as broke as he leads to be on, likes to let us believe on the timeline. He's tossing 165K into pre-sales. He's doing all right with the comic business. And then you got max bid locked, Kook at 174K, ICOB's 153K filled. I don't know what the difference is there at 86. I thought he did the full max out, maybe not. And then less than max bid also locked, Depeche Node. I also saw that our friend Wave. I saw I think I saw D's had like 50K in that was also filled fully. Let me Poppy, did you fire into the MegaETH pre-sale? Have you been following along or no?
No. I caught MegaETH like last week. I honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's my algo. Maybe I'm just so focused on quirkies and building. All this stuff is like, where did it come from?
So I think it's actually a great conversation. There's a lot happening in the space. This, for some, it seemingly has come out of nowhere. I've been watching this team for a while and have been super impressed with how they're moving. And to me, this is gets me. I'm even more bullish hearing that. The fact that I've been genuinely impressed by this team and how they're moving. And then someone like Poppy, who's a builder deep in the space, in the trenches, and just seeing it a few weeks ago, like I think it sets a lot of room to the upside. Here's it again. Still not the tweet I'm looking for. I will find it, but Gug sharing a hot take. You deserve the share. We don't need blockchains gated by social reputation or popularity contests. Will you bring followers to use the chain? Check. Do you pay a bunch of these fees, push large volume? Check. If you're building a protocol, MegaETH, or investing in the share, you should care about the 2 points above, not the fact that Kook has an 83% negative review on Ethos. I also actually believe, as more of this information came out about what Kook is actually doing on chain, looking at his wallets that are known, it's kind of a ding on. It may be a ding on Ethos. I like Ethos. I love what they're doing. I'm just going to say, I don't think 356 untrusted score is accurate for Kook. There's a lot of they're directionally accurate, but I don't think it's just for when you compare.
It's a perception thing, Cap. It's because of the hate in the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Then you give the trolls the capability to do something, and then that's going to be the first thing that they do, so that they can be like, "We told you." You know what I mean? Like that's simply all that is.
Yep, I agree. And this space moves in groups. So a few people say Kook's a scammer. Kook's a scammer. Oh, let's go /Kook. Like, again, I'm not saying like, hey, go make Kook your role model. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we have on-chain data. Let's use that. Let's use more of what the blockchain unlocks. Let's use more of what blockchain tech enables. And quite frankly, some of these brands, some of these, like, why aren't you doing more? Why did it take MegaETH to go to this level of detail? Why, like, you have TGE once. It's not something to low effort. Like, people do, not even exaggerating, there's NFT collections that put more work in to curating their allow list than some chains do to curate who can get in their pre-sale or who's getting allocation. Like, I don't believe it's good just to give everyone with a wallet an allocation. I don't. I think a lot of them are just going to dump, and it's going to hurt your real believers. Here's another one more. It's while I still look for the bread response, but ended up with 49K allocation. He thinks what really helped him was that, and what he completely underestimated is that most people either have a strong on-chain history or social reputation. Very few people score high in both. I'm super happy, especially since I wasn't part of the community allocation and didn't lock. Shout out to the MegaETH team for putting so much effort into the allocation process. I agree. Whether you participated or not, whether you got the allocation you wanted or didn't get any, I respect the approach, the effort they put into this. It's not easy. They had 54,000 wallets and $1.4 billion allocated. And they had to go through and determine who and how much they got that. Moritz has also said he did, again, the max bid at 186, was expecting 20 to 30 and came in a little north of that. And I have seen a few people disappointed. I've seen a few people that like, oh, I held a fluffle, I've been supporting, and they didn't get their they didn't get full allocation, or in some cases got none. I haven't validated that. I also know that the team is continuing to look through. I believe those people will probably get taken care of. Finally found it. Here we go. It only took me like 17 minutes. Kook got 94% of his mega ICO bid. Total bid was the max bid. He received basically everything but his refund, if I'm doing math right. Yes, I think. I just found it and I already lost Brett's reply. This is part of the problem. Here we go. Objectively, not opinion, not someone's opinion, not subjectively, objectively, proven with data, Kook is one of the top on-chain accounts. He has high social, and he locked for 12 months. What's not to like about that? Are we to judge someone's personality and say, oh, we don't want them on our chain, despite every other data point says they would be a great person to have in our ecosystem? Let's kick them out because they have a low ethos score. Yeah, there's some credible people that rated him bad, but I've looked and I've still yet to find verifiable proof that the guy's a scammer or a grifter or he's led scams. Maybe he has. I'm not saying for certain for a fact that he hasn't. I'm saying when you look at his on-chain history, not just trading history, but how he moves, like they did a lot of due diligence into how they did this allocation, and I think it's deserved. And I would like to see more do this. This should not be a popularity contest here. Should your ability to gain followers or to gain eyeballs and get people on your chain, should that count towards something? Yeah. But so should your on-chain history. If not, why the hell are we why are we on chain? If not, let's use the data we have available to us. Am I taking crazy pills here, Machiavelli? Are you, and I'm not saying everything, but as far as this allocation, are you team Cook or do you think he should have been nerfed?
I'm team Cook, man. The data's there, and that's just all that there is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who's whining probably doesn't even have a foot in the game. If you go look, they probably don't even have any crypto. I've learned that recently about a lot of people here who run their mouth. It's yo, let me see your on-chain history. And I'm team Cook, man. And you gotta live and let live. You know what I mean? And the proof is in the pudding, and either put up or shut up.
Yeah, I agree. And I also maybe I would feel differently if I got 0% allocation. I don't know. I didn't. I got 100% of my allocation. It wasn't 186K, but maybe I feel differently if I got zeroed out. I had this take yesterday.
I'm kind of upset about the MegaETH thing because it was in front of my face the whole time, and I didn't take advantage of it. And I don't even think it's too late with the way that their schedule is going to be rolled out. I think that there's still plenty of gains and investment to be made there. You know what I'm saying? With different protocols that are coming out. But I remember when y'all were doing the 1 ETH buy-in, I had it there, but I wasn't on the list, and I could have hit up Breads and probably got in there, and I just did it. Then I wasn't paying attention when Fluffles came out, and I remember you talking about it. But now to see it this time around, I was like, damn, I really missed that boat.
Yeah, we definitely talked about Fluffles here on the show. We, as I mentioned a couple times, we hold a couple Fluffles. Toot asks, so regarding MegaETH, can we buy it now or soon? OTC can't buy it yet. I don't know. I'm expecting TGE before the end of the year. So when they have their token generation of it, you'll be able to buy it OTC. The locked, it's not all locked. It's only this portion of pre-salers who opted for the lock. Anyone who did opt for the lock got a 10% discount. Those of us in the US, we were required to lock for 12 months. That's just regulations here. So saved some people who might have not locked but were forced to. You could buy the token OTC at launch. I think it would also be wise to pay attention and follow not just the chain, but also some of these dApps. I've kind of telegraphed it. I'm 97% certain it becomes my new home base. And I want to go really deep in the ecosystem. I actually sent Brad a DM this morning. I'd like to find someone to come on the show, at least do a segment, a MegaETH segment. There's just I'm not exaggerating. There's a lot going on. They have a lot of novel dApps. I don't think it's close that we've seen pre-launch.
Cap, I'm at this cross points right now. I was like, do I buy a Bored Ape and get all the way into the club? Because I've always wanted to buy my ape, but I already have a couple of mutants. I got Codas, stuff like that. Or I'm thinking, do I just take that liquid and do I go on the MegaETH journey with you and document it all the way through? Because I just honestly feel like that would be, I need something like that in this ecosystem. I've been so stuck up the metaverse's ass that I kind of have listen, I would have normally stabled up and did all this, and I left my portfolio high and dry during this last dump. And you know, I saw it dwindle, and I hadn't seen that in a while since I was paying attention in the trenches. You know what I mean? And like, so like I'm at this crossroads right now where it's like, yo, I need that that bit of attention to like to set and put somewhere and like actually, you know, hold on to. And I'm thinking that MegaETH is going to be that road. I was hoping that Monad was. I really was, but like I don't feel the vibe there. Like, you know what I mean? Even get an allocation and stuff, I just don't. But MegaETH definitely has my attention right now.
I'm not wish I
Cap, who are a couple people like what's being built on MegaETH? My curiosity is sparked.
let me I'm looking for, you're not gonna believe it, looking for another post. I actually shared this one yesterday, so I think I should be able to find it a little quicker. But there's several, and Noise is one, Euphoria is another. Not only are they novel dApps, they're also they've raised significant funds with the help of MegaETH. Here we go, got it. Struggling this morning. I need some more funky coffee. This is by no means a comprehensive list. Here we go. Cap Money. Stablecoin protocol with credible financial guarantees built on Ethereum, accelerated by MegaETH.
That's yours? That's your project? Finally, bro? You leaked the alpha?
Cap Money.
Cap Money.
Cap Money.
We have a title sponsorship open, and you are you may be the perfect
Machiavelli's he is full porting Cap Money.
Just drop off that 0.9. No one would notice it. 12 million, still a great raise, and we've got a deal. Just drop the 0.9, act like it never happened, and you could become a 12-month sponsor of Copy with Captain. Title sponsor.
Bullish.
Euphoria. Euphoria is actually pretty neat. This is a live tap trading app and like trading. I don't know how to describe it. Like trading competitions. You're gonna see. I think you're gonna see some live streams around the Euphoria. Nectar is I've not dove into Nectar. It's a decentralized platform to bring dream companion and fantasies to life. So that sounds maybe adult driven. I'm not sure. GTE.
Hello.
The Internet Exchange, back to you by top institution, market makers, and you. Contosi is a ZK powered omni-chain abstraction layer. Not sure what that is. Valhalla is another one catching a lot of stream. It's talking perps, and then Noise I mentioned. There is a poker one. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Let me go find these other ones too, because they're, again, will all these be a hit? Probably not. But
and the big one, don't forget the big one, GTA 6 going live on MegaETH.
No, it's not. Do not say that. And listen, thank God that GTA 6 just moved to November 19th, 2026. But I know this, on November 12th, 2025,
they're pushing
Nexus pops. You know what I'm saying? So a whole year.
No, don't worry, bro. 2 days before the launch, GTA 6 will push it to 2028. That's sweet. We know.
You just made my fucking heart drop in my stomach when you told me GTA 6 was dropping off MegaETH. That's all I gotta say.
They it also, we'll hit on this in a minute, but they also is great. Today's example of why you're playing prediction markets, why it's important to read the rules. There was yesterday on that news of the delay once again for on the delay of Grand Theft Auto 6.
We have to polish it up for you guys, and polishing it up takes good quality time.
They there was a polymarket on which happens first, and one of them is the rapture, like the return of Jesus Christ, and it skyrocketed to like 47%, Poppy. So like people were thinking Jesus Christ comes before.
I saw that. I died. Because I was playing Halo 2 nights ago with my friend, and he goes, brother, the Messiah is coming before Grand Theft Auto 6. And I laughed. And then I saw it this morning on the timeline. I said, you know what? There are genuinely people who believe that. And so it may happen.
I mean, sure, it could. The reason it popped to 50-50, though, is because the rules state that if neither thing happens prior to, I think, July, So you can see like what will happen before Grand Theft Auto 6. If neither happens before July, it resolves to 50-50 payout. So I don't understand why these two are, why anything, like my brain, knowing that now, the rules state if neither thing happens, so I guess they're saying
people are just banking on Jesus popping in. That's what they're doing. They're saying, well, the game's definitely not going to launch, so let's bet on Jesus.
I mean, Mike, this still should be free. This still should be free money unless Jesus comes back, because you could buy yes at 48 cents and you're going to get paid out at 50 cents. Oxy, are you deeper in the prediction markets than I? Am I right there? Like, this is assuming we don't have the rapture before July next year. If you put 48 cents on Jesus Christ returning, he doesn't return, and Grand Theft Auto doesn't. We know Grand Theft Auto is not happening before July. It's free. It's a free 2-cent bet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oxy, are you in the Jesus Christ trade? I got no audio. You might have to take a lap.
I know my cousin Jesus has been set back a couple of times, and he keeps popping back up over here. So
I'm gonna let's. Oxy, we got audio now? It sounds like I can hear something, but it's very faint. Might have been Poppy's background. No, I might have to leave the space, maybe force close Twitter and then come back. Because I would love to get you in on this. And yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, the coffee hasn't kicked in yet, because I need a good Jesus Christ title. Can anyone help me out? This is better. Like, no offense to Cook, but the Son of God is taking precedence over Cook this morning. And Oxy, let's get a mic check, and then if it's working, do you have a good Jesus Christ title? I still got nothing. Can anyone hear Oxy, or is it just me?
No. He's not. He doesn't have.
Sorry, bud. X is doing its thing here this morning.
The Messiah returns. Question mark.
I mean, yeah. would be wild. But anyways, the TLDR, it is a stark reminder to make sure you understand the rules. Make sure. So again, this market will resolve to yes if Playboy Carti officially releases a new album before Grand Theft Auto is officially released in the United States. Otherwise, it will result to no. If neither occurs, this is the key one. If neither occurs before July 31st, 2026, this market will resolve to 50-50. And this is what a lot of people miss, or what I missed when I saw Jesus Christ spike to 47%. I'm like, well, it could happen, but that seems pretty.
What about holy shift? Like, that's, the return of the second coming of Christ. Holy shift.
I like second coming of Christ to save crypto.
Oh, yes. That's good. Put that one in there.
All right. Question mark? What if, I mean, I don't know. We're way off the rails here this morning. It is a Friday. I was just going to say, I don't even know if is it bullish or bearish if we get an actual rapture. I think it probably is bearish for our bags. I don't know.
Last week, or whatever the capitulation day was, people were begging for it. Like, this is the day. Take it. Take me.
Yeah. Jesus versus Rockstar. Two says if GTA is waiting for VR to get better launch the game and/or waiting for the next gen console. If I was a volume shooter on X and I was in as good as Brad and Mert and all these other real KOLs, I had a thought yesterday. I was going to take the actual Rockstar announcement, and if someone wants to do this, feel free to take it and run with it, because I don't. It's just a glimpse into my my brain. I'm not. It's not that deep for me. I'm not going to do it, and nor put the time into it. This is where, like, I need an AI agent that will just do the things I tell it to do without having to, like, actually prompt it and go back and forth. But I was going to take this exact post from them, screenshot it, and just change some wordings and add a line that says, we're now going to release on November 19th. We're sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game on chain with a level of polish that you come to expect and deserve. So that was my that was my my camel fake news post yesterday. Was going to add a word in here to make it look like the reason they delayed is they're building a blockchain to launch Grand Theft Auto on chain. I think it'd be a cook. I think it's actually,
it would.
I should have just
cook.
sent it to Camel. Like it's
Just MegaETH. We're integrating with MegaETH.
Yep, that's it. It's a perfect,
Stop saying that. Stop saying that, Poppy, because I don't want that shit to happen.
It's a perfect Camel post. Someone should have done this. The reason that that would be amazing if that's actually why they're delaying, because they're building on chain. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, this is a perfect Camel post. Is just rip this chain, add one word, it'd be a screenshot, fire that off, and it'll be a cooker. I don't think we get the rapture before Grand Theft Auto 6, possibly so, but interesting thought on the AR VR thinking too. I like where
the next gen console actually makes a lot of sense in my opinion, because all the new consoles are going to come out. So
I didn't know there was even new consoles being built. Are we expecting new consoles in 2026?
No, but
yeah, I saw,
for
I saw some
PlayStation
stuff.
6, that's usually their release time is the end of the year. And so it would make sense if that's why they pushed it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the next gen release console. But you got to remember, there's no way they're not going to drop it on PS5. You know what I'm saying? Or online or anything like that. It's gonna drop.
Yeah, and the new PlayStation hasn't been officially announced. They are developing, but it's like 27, 28. So, you know, and there's a new Xbox as well. Both of them are projected. Realistically, probably Christmas 26 or 27, because usually, you know, that's when they drop them, right, in December. So I think, I mean, if they haven't announced it yet, I don't even think we're looking at Christmas next year. It's possible that they'll fire it up in like Q1 to get everybody hyped up for the year. And man, when they do drop those new consoles, it's going to be madness, because they haven't dropped anything new in a long time. So maybe that is what they're waiting for.
Google's telling me likely to be released in 27 or 28 based on past cycle history or console cycles. Leaks from Sony suggest targeting late 2027. So to Machiavelli's point, but might be a year after. I'm not deep in the gaming streets, but it does anecdotally feels to me like we just got the Xbox X, PlayStation 5. It doesn't seem long enough to have a new console, but
yeah,
in June we got the Switch 2 as well in June, because I went and got that one for my little.
Quick PSA: there's a fake Hyperliquid app on Google App Store. Don't, as we said earlier, don't click funny links. Don't download things that are fake. What else on your guys' mind today? It's a Friday. We talked MegaETH allocation. Congratulations to Kook and everyone else who got their big allos. We talked the return of Jesus Christ potentially coming before Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm becoming more and more of a MegaETH bull. I will. There was a couple more apps. That was what I was looking for. The other dApps that I mentioned. There's a poker one that seems pretty interesting and like a different spin on poker on chain. And I'm really struggling finding
not to change the subject all the way, but yesterday James Hall, head engineering of Yuga, made a post where he's live in the other side, and he added ApeCoin through Coinbase straight to his account. And I just thought that was a phenomenal development, and what a way to kind of put it out on the timeline. You know what I'm saying? Just
what do you do again?
Here you go. He literally loaded up ApeCoin into his account straight from Coinbase. Card on file, clicked on the tab, and he added Ape straight to his straight to his account. From Coin.
Did it all in the other side?
All in the other side. You didn't have to leave.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Didn't have to do nothing. Just right there. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm looking for the showdown is the name of this other MegaETH dApp. I'm trying to reference. Oxy, check my check.
No.
Hey,
oh man,
GM. You're back. Thanks for powering through that. Take it wherever you'd like. Appreciate you jumping up as always. What did bring you up? Are you betting on?
You guys problem solve. You got through the Jesus Christ versus Rockstar analysis correctly. You had that. You nailed that. So that 50-50. So if you get anything other than that and it doesn't doesn't land before that time frame, it just automatically goes to 50-50. So you get that 2% automatically. So
it is free money right now, unless we get an actual rapture, it's free.
Yeah, I mean, unless by some miracle, yeah. Well, I guess one of them comes true by July.
A literal miracle. A literal miracle.
Literal miracle. One thing, so I wanted to touch on the MegaETH. You were talking about just like what apps or dApps there are, and that you listed a lot of cool ones. I think what's really intriguing to me is using literally any other dApp that builds on MegaETH with the speed and throughput and like price, like Oracle, Oracle and price. I can't think of the word on like synergy, or like it being so incredibly up to date. Like I would want to use anything on that chain rather than anywhere else, simply because of that. So it's like even the novel and unique and original ideas and dApps that are being built out, like I want to use the ones I'm using now just on MegaETH. So that's just another thing I wanted to bring up.
Yes. And can you like, I know Chainlink Oracle is going on MegaETH. Can you technically explain like what exactly did you just like? It's not just like, this isn't just like marginally better. It's exponentially faster than most chains. And I'm not a dev, but if I'm building, I don't know why I'd want to, it like in my head, it's like, okay, I can build a new app for the Apple App Store and Android, Google Play, or I can build something for DOS prompt or Windows 95. It's a no-brainer. Why would I not build on the most performant tech in the best? I know distribution is the question that's not solved there, but if you don't mind, I'm gonna hand you back the mic and go refill my coffee. And are you able to explain some of like technically what does make it so different, and why is Chainlink going on MegaETH such a big deal?
Yeah. So I guess I can't. I'm not technical enough to speak like overly to the technical side of things. Let me just say that outright. But I think there's two things that we need to like revert back to when you had Brett on the show. One being the proximity to these data centers and the ability to be that close to the computers in the cloud that are processing that information, that gives an edge over basically any other chain that's not right next to the computers that are processing your information. So this is something new that they're doing that I don't think any other chain currently is doing. I might be incorrect in that, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But just the proximity, this is a thing that's been in the world for as long as computers have been around, wanting to be closer to the data center so that you can put transactions and information through faster, simply because of proximity to the data center. The other side of things, so the issue with oracles and pricing on chain isn't from like the Chainlink side necessarily. It's more so from the blockchain side and the settlement time for these different chains. So like even the fastest chains like a Base or a Solana take multiple seconds in order for you to settle on chain and for it to actually confirm the price. So as fast as a Chainlink or it's Red, I can't think of the name of the protocol now, Redstone, I think it's called actually. They can send the information as fast as they want to the chain, but if the chain doesn't settle in a reasonable amount of time, like instantaneously or less, like for example, I think Base is a 4-second transaction clearing time. Like that 4 seconds is a huge gap between when the price comes in and when the transaction settles on chain. So the issue isn't the price update getting sent to the chain. It's more so, does the chain recognize the price at like the price that's being sent to it, and then this transaction settling within a reasonable amount of time. And that's where MegaETH comes in, and it's like, oh, okay, our settlement time is instantaneous because they're doing. This is where I'm gonna probably lose a little bit of the plot, but what I understand is they're batching and splicing transactions, and then in that way they can basically settle transactions immediately. So as soon as the price action gets sent from Chainlink, it basically settles the transaction settles immediately. So there isn't that like 4-second gap if you're trading on base or wherever, where there could be price fluctuation. So all that said, like, and obviously not getting too into the weeds, into the technical side of things, but that's my understanding as to why I'm so excited to have that real-time price, to where there isn't this weird slippage, or there isn't this weird disconnect between, okay, the price of Ethereum is, $3,800 right now. 4 seconds from now, it might be something completely different. We saw that on October 10th. We see it all the time with huge price fluctuations. So that's why, I think it's really cool what they're building.
Yeah, great take. Appreciate you sharing. And I agree. It's even if you're not someone who you think I need this extra millisecond of speed. You're not building MEV bots. Like, if you're trading, you should want that protection. You should want your transaction to go through when you click it, not give a 4-second gap for someone to front run your transaction. Just we're just talking trading. Then you start talking about gaming and other stuff. Like, I've got Showdown pulled up here, which is a new twist on poker. If you're not looking in, it's a Showdown, or if you're not watching video, Showdown is a poker supercharged with action cards. 5 minutes to learn, 10 minutes to play, a lifetime to master, created by top professional players of poker, Hearthstone, and Magic the Gathering. So kind of like a TCG meets poker world. It's all I know right now, but another one I mentioned is Lemonade, which is like a community space. We've seen some other hubs like this in the past, but just talking about like running events and stuff in your community. Again, these, like, do all these dApps hit? No. But the fact that they have several, either novel or ones dApps that are putting a new twist or new spin on things, they're already funded. They've been working with the team for months. Be Epic Zora, we're going to launch next week. I almost went live today, but I do have to launch the token first, and I just want to make sure I'm going to do it right. So bear with us. But yeah, we're going to go live streaming on Zora next week, working for a special guest, longtime Coffee with Captain supporter, to join us and maybe do some drawings on stream. Oxy, go ahead and get back in here.
Yeah, no, and then I guess maybe one more thing, just speaking to people who might not care or might not think they care about that millisecond speed. Like, one thing that I get super frustrated about is if I'm trading on Hyperliquid and I have a stop loss or a take profit or whatever it is set up, a lot of times it doesn't. Hyperliquid's a little different, but like any perp platform that doesn't have the instantaneous close, like you will lose. Like, if you have a stop loss at 0%, like, I just want to break even on this. A lot of times, if you go back and look at that stop loss, it isn't 100% filled or like closed out at that 0% mark, because of this like inherent lag that there is between the Oracle updating the price on the site and then the site closing down your position. So that's just another thing. Like, if you're trading perps and you have, or just trading in general, really, and you have these stop losses or different type of scales in and out through trading platforms, you should care about it. Like you said, I think it's just really important that you get the most up-to-date data when you're trading. So just wanted to touch on that quick.
Let me ask you a harder question. What's the bear case? I said it yesterday. I've not heard one single bear case for MegaETH. I've heard a bear case for every other chain that's launched. I've not heard one single logical bear case for MegaETH other than, like, why do we need another chain? That's weak. Like,
yeah.
Why do we need another phone when Jobs launched the iPhone? Like, it's better. It's just better. It's faster, and faster is good, right? Like, what? Like, could something else come along in the future that's better and faster, more performant than MegaETH? Yeah, sure. But right now, when it launches, it is going to be the most performant blockchain by magnitude. So what's the bear case? What goes wrong? What would prevent MegaETH from not becoming the chain of the cycle, Oxy?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Like you said, it's can someone else come along and speed up the chain to where they rival like a Solana or a Base or something like that? I'm not technical enough to know how easy or hard that would be for them to pivot to how they're processing their blocks and transactions. I think ultimately what it comes down to is like, are they does MegaETH continue to put time and resources and energy into their apps and into their builders and developers to keep them building new and exciting things, but then also those apps going out and getting those users to come onto their chain and use their product on their chain? Like it is, we've talked about this before, but it is the most PvP world, and it's such a small industry that it's incredibly PvP, and you need to incentivize people to use your app. So like, I guess it's the bear case being it doesn't take, because the apps aren't strong enough to bring people over, or people are so ingrained in what they're using now on Solana or these other L2s or Ethereum L1. I guess the only other thing I can think of is somehow, and again, I'm not technical enough, somehow the way they're processing their transactions instantaneously, there's some kind of risk factor associated with transactions settling, on an L2, but I just don't know that. So I'm with you. I can't really think of one right now.
I would love to get, I'm not just, this isn't just a bit. I genuinely have not heard one. I've heard people that aren't nearly as bullish as myself, but I've not heard a single bearish take on MegaETH. And yeah, like the tech could break. I'm going to guess that if we think about it, or I leave the title up and it actually brings up someone who is bearish MegaETH, I should say, who's bearish MegaETH?
Honestly, Cap, I think that we haven't seen anything bearish on MegaETH because of the way that their round went, where everybody put in an ETH. Like there was like a lot of the people in the ecosystem that invested and stuff like that, like who've been waiting this long. There's been this entire situation unfold in front of us, and like there is no bearishness about that. Like they've done things like appropriately, and they've kind of kept their mouth out, their name out of the trash's mouth. And I mean, there's something to be said about the way that they've done this rollout and marketed this chain. I think that it's been done very well.
Yeah, and God damn it, I was doing good. I was staying on point. I wasn't getting distracted. The war room got me again. And Payne, it's your fault this time. Payne, I lost it off of, Payne says, Cap calling Cook all show has been so on brand. This is what you get. I grew up in southeastern Ohio, and I say things like the collar blue. And I know it sounds like I'm talking about this kind of collar, but I'm actually talking about the collar blue. I also say dog, and it sounds like I'm spelling it D-A-W-G, not D-O-G. I'm aware. I'm self-aware of this. My brain doesn't allow me to correct it. So I'm not calling Cook at any like disrespect, or it's not a bit. It's just my brain is broken when it comes to
he cooks, Cap. He cooks. That's just all that it is he cooks. That's really all.
Like I have to actually think about it. Like I have to consciously think about saying kook, not cook. That's how broken my dialect is for growing up in South. Not only did I grew up in Southeast Ohio, I grew up in Southeast Ohio with my second dad, my stepdad, who became my stepdad when I was 5. He grew up in the mountains of West Virginia. And so I've got the Southeastern Ohio dialect with with a twist of West Virginia in me. And yeah, for whatever reason, my brain reads kook as cook, and I can't explain it. I'm aware of it, but if I'm just talking and not consciously thinking about how I'm supposed to pronounce this word, it's going to come out kook or cook, or I don't fucking know.
My dad used to say, hey, sit down in the chair, and then you better chair with your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel you.
So this is and proving that it is not me. It is I'm to blame my heritage and where I grew up. Payne confirms his wife also grew up in Southeast Ohio and also says collar as the collar blue. I got made fun of in college for this, by the way. I actually got in a fist fight with my best friends because we were out drinking one night. It was like 2 a.m. He wouldn't lay off me. He kept calling me a city grit because of how I was pronouncing words, and I beat the shit out of him. His car, his Toyota Corolla, looked like a scene from Pulp Fiction. And we made up the next day. It was a bad, like, sillies. I didn't stop drinking then, probably should have. But I was driving his car, and he was in the back seat. And I wasn't even thinking, just kept going like this. And next thing we know, we stopped, and there was literally blood splattered everywhere. And that was the last fight I got on, driving a car and beat the shit out of one of my best friends. like a week later, I kid you not, a week, maybe not a week, like a month later, he was moving from, he just graduated, he was moving from Columbus to LA. We drove together from Columbus to LA, 36 hours. The first leg, we went straight from Columbus to Denver, Colorado, 20 hours consecutively without a break. The only time we stopped was to fill gas. And do not do this. Don't take financial advice. Don't take life advice from me. The entire time we're driving from Columbus to Denver, and this is also like, must have been like 2004. So not only was it not safe, but it's also not legal at the time. Probably not legal today either ways. We're like doing bong rips in the car. And anyways, I digress. I don't know how we got on this conversation, but Jay, I love you. Sorry.
I don't think it'll ever be legal to do bong rips in the car.
Sorry, sorry for kicking your ass for calling me a city grit, but Payne, shout out to your wife and never make fun of her for
at the time it wasn't legal. It's never legal.
We're safe.
You're still here, and that's what counts.
That's right. And I don't do that anymore. That was in my younger years. See, Payne, this is again, Payne, producer Payne, it's your fault for getting me on the color. What were we talking about before Payne distracted me with my my pronunciation?
MegaETH.
What's and also like now it's like in my brain, it's how I pronounce color, how I pronounce kook, and as well as people going bald. And not only people going bald, but Riggs, what did you do to your hand? That's what I must know. Also, never mind. I was about to make a comment about your wife's assets. I'm not going to do that. But you definitely outkicked your coverage, buddy. Congratulations. Well done. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here this morning. I need a
guys, that was Coffee with Captain. Have a great day.
New show title: GTA 6 Vice City Grit. Well played, sir. MegaETH. We were talking MegaETH and the bearish case. I've not actually gotten a bearish case for MegaETH. My assumption is the bearish case. Find also another show host that can do this loop from serious conversation about revolutionary blockchain tech to talking about colors and city grits and beating the shit out of your friend and driving cross country right back to MegaETH. It's not for everyone, but it's probably the only place on the internet you'll find this exact format. Oxy, my take, and I don't know, but my gut on the bear case is they're going to say it's centralized. It's not decentralized enough. Is that in at least at launch? Do you think that could be butt against the chain or a bearish case that it's just not as decentralized as say Ethereum?
For sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a huge thing. Yeah, I mean, so I think you're talking about like the privacy coin and not really seeing that as a like super important. I mean, to you, and I feel the same exact way. I feel that same way about like decentralization of chains, especially right now. Like, I understand the premise and why we want that 1,000,000,000%, but at the end of the day, 99.9% of people that are going to be using a product that has blockchain rails that they don't even know has blockchain rails don't give a shit about like whether it's centralized or decentralized. In essence, like it will be decentralized to an extent. Like there's going to be different validators and whatnot, but it's obviously not going to be as decentralized as an Ethereum or what have you. But I mean, I hear that bear case and I understand where people are coming from there, but God, that's not going to deter me even in the slightest. And it probably won't deter a lot of people, in my opinion. If the app is fast and it works incredibly well or better than other apps, I don't care, really. At the end of the day,
I've got a really probably an unpopular take here, especially with the purist. I'd prefer it not to be entirely decentralized. I feel a sense of safety and comfort, not with everywhere, right? Not like some random chain that comes out of nowhere. I've never, other than Brett, I've never met Brett in person. I've never met anyone on this team. I have no reason to trust them, except for on-chain history, social cred, reputational risk. I really don't think they've got too much going for them. I don't think the MegaETH team is going to rug us and utilize, or anyone that's running a node there, there is smart contract risk, there is protocol risk, there is team risk. Like, this could happen, and this is why you should never full port into anything. You don't want to blow up everything you've been building for the last decade in one swoop because something goes awry. That is the risk going on chain. But exploring new chains and new ecosystems, I feel more safe and secure exploring new dApps and going a little more on the risk curve when it's like this, as opposed to fully decentralized. And not that I got caught up in was it Munchables? Was that the Blast hack? It was like $100 million Blast exploit. Is that right? Munchables, I think it was. So there was an early dApp on Blast. There was an exploit. Tens of millions of dollars got basically exploited, taken out of the contract. And Blast essentially rolled back the chain. Like, hey, you're not getting off Blast. They stopped the hacker in their tracks. In the early days, I would actually prefer that as a user of a new chain, because it makes me feel safer using new protocols. You still use proper safety, security, hygiene, still use your hot wallets, et cetera, et cetera. Don't put any more than you can afford to lose, all that good stuff. But I would explore an app built by Anon devs if it's on a chain that's more centralized like this than I would on one that the build team has no ability to fix things. And I'm not saying they should do that. And I'm not saying I hope that happens. I'm just saying there's actually, in a weird way, it actually, the more I've been here, longer I've been here, it gives me more peace of mind that in the early days of a chain, that it's not purely decentralized, that the team can actually course correct if something, God forbid, if they have a black swan event, they can correct it. Is this, I'm curious all your takes. Let's start with Oxy, then we'll go Poppy Machiavelli. How much FUD would I get from a Bitcoin whale, an OG, blockchain decentralized purist? Like, is this a bad take? Is this an okay take? Is this like, or is it just the way we're heading that no one really, not no one, most people don't really care about decentralization and privacy. They just want things to work, and they want that peace of mind and that protection. If something goes wrong, it can be fixed. Thoughts, Oxy?
Yeah, man, you're cooked. I mean, cooked. No, but I'm kind of with you. I mean, the reason why people, the stock market, for instance, the reason why the stock market will stop trading, the traditional stock market will stop trading when there's huge fluctuations. There's levers that are pulled to protect people from, insane things happening like this. There's a reason why there's, FDIC and insurance for your money that's in banks. Like, I understand we're in an industry that wants to be different and like super far removed from a lot of those different things. But at the end of the day, if you want to scale outside of this super small Web3 bubble, you need to have some sort of protection to make people feel good about putting their money into something and feeling confident that their money is safe and that it's a product that they can rely upon. So I understand, like I said, I understand both sides of the fence. Like, I understand there needs to be some sort of, I like the, validators validating these transactions at the essence of a blockchain is great to me. Like, that is a really cool feature of blockchain that isn't elsewhere. But at the same time, like you're saying, like I agree with you. There's a sense of security and comfort associated with that I think is almost needed, especially in like an L2 like this.
I agree. And also agree with understanding why others value decentralization and privacy. I get it. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I don't think it's a negative. And now long term, would you hope that they, as they scale and through time, do they come be fully decentralized? Yeah, but in the beginning, like, there's real benefits in having some of that control and not being entirely decentralized. And for that matter, you can make the same argument about Solana right now. It's a VC chain. There's only a few nodes. It's not decentralized. Like, this has been, this has been the attempted knock on Solana since I've entered the space. And guess what? I bought into it early on. Oh, Ethereum's better because like, I'm not saying I would have went back and bought Solana at $8 following the FTX crash. I might have thought about it more if had not the Bankless boys maybe drink the Kool-Aid that ETH and all the decentralization is king, and no one Solana's a scam chain or it's a scam VC chain. And the reality is, the longer I've been here, like, not only did most people not really care, it's you could build a case that it's actually a perk, it's a feature, not a bug. Poppy, thoughts on decentralization versus slightly decentralized at launch?
Yeah, this is a age-old conversation. I think that we have to be careful what we wish for in terms of decentralization. Obviously, that was the first narrative and the first magnet for crypto, right? Learning about blockchain and crypto in 2015, the decentralized aspect is what made Bitcoin attractive or speculative, or even like potentially at that time, this could change the world. But there's also a lot of negative, there's a lot of fall through with no policing, no governance. So it's always that, I don't know. I've always kind of stayed in the middle on that because I like to put myself in both sides and just look at both arguments. And look, I think that there is a lot of money to be lost in this space from mistakes or hacks or, just one bad click, phishing, social engineering. And then in that moment, you're like, oh my God, I some centralization would be great. So I've always kind of been in the middle on it. I think I try to see both sides, and I do see both sides pretty clearly. So it's hard to say which side I like better or which side I think is better. It's probably an endless argument, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. I get the arguments on both sides. I think where I net out is I just don't view it as a negative for a new chain. Machiavelli, what do you after Von Frunten? Von Frunten flew up here with the hand up. Von Frunten, what say you? Are we am I taking my anti-decentralization Maxiism too far? GM.
No, not at all. GM. No, not at all. And I think, to be honest, it depends. Like, what are you actually building for? Like, what is your audience and what is the actual product that you're building? I think then you can say, what's the level of decentralization that you need, right? Like, when tokens and blockchain was basically just digital money, there was a strong case for decentralization because you could take your money with you across borders. You weren't subject to banks, and there was that whole benefit, right? Decentralization won that use case. The things we're talking about now, where I'm building products and I'm building consumer-facing products, and consumers want a certain amount of trust and protection in the products that they're using, kind of a vote for centralization, right? And so I think it's what's cool now, in my opinion, is we're to a point where blockchain isn't just digital money. It is digital money, it is gaming, it is casinos, it is banking, it is all these things. And I think we're going to, you'll start to see the market segment, and where some use cases are going to be better decentralized, some use cases are going to be better centralized. They're all going to be right for what they're trying to do. And I love that about the evolution of our space.
Yeah, I do as well. I don't think there's one right answer. There's not one wrong answer. I would net out that, like, because of what you just said, or piggybacking off that, I'll double down on. It's not a negative or a bearish case for a chain to launch like this. I don't believe. I understand while some may attempt to spin it that way. I don't think it's played out in terms of any chain success or price action per se. I just think it's something that those who aren't interested in MegaETH or sideline, or they didn't get any allocation, and you want to FUD it. If that's the bear case, is it's not decentralized, so much higher. Like, giddy up. Like, this thing is so, like, even thinking through this, I am preparing to double down on my MegaETH conviction and explore some of these dApps like Showdown and others that we talked about earlier. I want them to win. Go ahead, Poppy.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, the argument may be between taxation and, not taxation, right? Because it's a lot harder to hide things when you're in a centralized environment. But to your point, I think, and Von Frunten, I think you nailed it. That I'll triple tap on that. I think that there's going to be times where things definitely should and need to be centralized. And then I think there's still that, that Bitcoin mysterious, part of crypto that is decentralized and always will be, no matter how much centralization tries to get it to funnel through the thing. Bitcoin is always going to be that pioneer, even though it runs through centralized exchanges, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think it's kind of like you said, Cap. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like if that's the negative, then off to the races, right? I think that's a minimal issue.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have max allo. My allo is very small. It's just like a smidgen above minimum allo, but it was 100% of what I put in. I'm not rolling in 6 figures of dry powder like Bold Leonidas is. One other thing here, we got home stretch of the show, and anyone on stage, really appreciate jumping up and talking through things with me this morning. One other topic I want to hit on. Machiavelli, go ahead and get in here, and then we'll hit the last topic and then anything else.
Yeah.
Your guys' mind.
Well, I think a lot of the times when we think about decentralization, people want anonymity, if I'm saying that correctly. They want Zcash, they want Monero. And I think that the holy grail in this situation, because there's almost like a little bit of Stockholm syndrome that we have from being in a regular market our entire lives, that we come do this and we want them to be able to roll back the chain and stuff like that. And I felt like whenever I first got into crypto, people got decentralization and anonymity confused. But I think that is the holy grail in our industry. Somebody who can figure that out, and whether we use, like, I've been thinking about this shit for a really long time. Like, how do I do banking on chain and keep the privacy and stuff? And then I started thinking about quit shadow tech and all these things that you could actually utilize in order to make that thing happen. But like, we're not there yet in the market. You know what I'm saying? But I think that is our holy grail. This part of the conversation, and whoever figures decentralization and anonymity out and puts them together is going to be the bigger winner here at the end of the day.
Yeah. Good takes across the board. Net out, I just don't, it matters. Certainly decentralization, privacy, it all matters. It doesn't matter for everything here. And I think that's where some people like to, everything has to be entirely decentralized. Everything has to be, private or ability to be anon. Like if they want that, sure. Only other topic, I wasn't even going to mention this because I first thought it was Nakamigos. I'm kind of done with the whole TokenWorks and strategy launches, but it's actually the Nakamoto cards. The Nakamoto card, there's only 300 of these. I don't understand what they're launching an ERC 1155. So 721, 1155, and ERC 20 based strategies will be deployable when the full platform launches.
Bro, this one lost me. I also was so confused. I don't know. It's above my crypto IQ for sure.
I heard that there was going to be a strategy for Nakamigos, and then then the DJs heard that and they went and bought the floor.
Yeah, because they saw Naka. They saw Naka and it exploded. The floor pumped and then dumped back down like right after. I don't get it. I don't get it, Cap. I don't understand this one. Like, I actually don't even get what they're trying to do.
This is actually pretty funny. You can take a guess when that first announcement came out. Looks like it ran like basically 2x'd floor price, and then once they realized it was not Nakamigos, but rather the Nakamoto cards. I just don't understand. I don't understand the 1155 approach. Again, they've kind of lost me here. I hope it does well. I'm gonna sit this one out. I've not been. I've actually sat the last few out, but
the post. What do you actually know what they're trying to do? Because it lists off like 3 different types of ERC tokens. It says 721, 1155, ERC 20 based strategies will be deployable when the full platform launches. So I guess they're just saying that they're going to be launching protocols or tokens for all those 3 types of contracts. That's interesting.
Yeah. I hadn't looked for a minute, but it's
yeah, I think that's what I think they're just trying to create a strategy for all types of NFTs and tokens, normal crypto.
pretty bloody over contracts. There. Punk strategy down to 33 million market cap. Vibe strategy still leading the way. I do think the team did the best there. It's at 3.88, 644 NFTs in the wallet. Ape strategy at 1.8, Chimper strategy at 1.65, Pudgy strategy at 1.55, Burb strategy at 1.16.
If you think about it, Chimpers are doing really great too. I mean, being right below Ape's market cap.
Is this at a $1.65 million market cap for a fungible token? Is strategy cooked? Like what could happen to bring this back? Is it just over? Like the flywheels are great until they break, and then it's really hard to restart momentum. And I don't know as if launching 1155s is going to recapture momentum.
It just seems dilutive to the idea in general. I think the only way the flywheel effect actually works long term is if there's real world revenue being put back into the token. Yeah. Right? To me, that is the thing. So a lot of people have asked me like, oh, if are you going to do one for Quirkies? And I mean, TokenWorks chooses the projects, not the other way around. So that's first and foremost. I don't think people understood that at first, but they've decided who to work with and who not to. But if Quirkies did have one, it would be, I mean, my only emphasis on it would be real world revenue, right? As we launch our apparel brand, I would commit a certain percentage of profit, from gaming or some of the other revenue streams we expect to have or have already. I would just put revenue back. I think that's the only way that the strategy could be claimed. Like either that or you just don't claim it, right? Some of the founders that have strategies attached to their projects don't even acknowledge it, claim it. It's just there. And I think for them, it's excusable. It's like, well, somebody asks like, oh, dude, your strategy's way down. They're like, well, we didn't build that. We don't, they did it. We don't have anything to do with it. So it's easy to brush it off and just let it be a bygone. GVC adopted it as their official ecosystem token. And, I think that was a strong move. The community adopted right beside them. Chimpers took a little bit of a different approach, not to adopt it as the official token, but to really lean in. They just brought on Tyler, who's one of the big influential guys in the community, and he's now, I forget what they called it, but essentially he's like, his focus is on the strategy.
Okay.
Chimpster. And like his sole focus is creating campaigns and activations to drive that strategy forward. So I thought that was pretty cool. Tyler's a really solid guy, and big Chimper maxi, but also is leaving his traditional finance background. He's been posting about it, so I thought that was cool. But I just think if it's all about the NFTs and people buying and selling them to keep the flywheel going, and that's the only force, then there is no 3 to 6 months we won't be talking about those at all. I think the only way that works again is real world revenue. Chimpers has committed to that. GVC has been really focused on putting revenue back in, keeping the flywheel moving. But overall, I mean, I was never mega bullish on the macro. I get it, I understand it. But I think that's a case-by-case basis if it's going to work or not.
Yeah, I agree. Toot also adds in the chat, the thing is the strategy tokens do not work unless we get the NFT bullback. Very Ponzi-esque, but will be a shotgun upwards if there's a bull. I agree. If we get actual excessive demand or demand greater than supply, these things, then you could see the flywheel really start to hum. But it's almost had the inverse effect from my perspective now, in that it's created these sell walls essentially, and maybe like those that are looking at maybe picking up the NFT are a little hesitant, because especially if they're thinking about it as a trade or a flip, because you can see it needs a lot of volume and a lot of sales for you to make it a profitable flip.
Well, also though, Cap, the other thing is that I believe that the NFTs get relisted on a different marketplace. So, like when I look up how many GVC are listed, I looked at it the other day and there was like 400. I don't think that includes the remaining, whatever it is, 600 that are in the strategy marketplace, right? So if that's the case, again, I'm confident, but I'm not 100%. If that's the case, does that mean that there's 1,000 listed? Because that's a lot. It's a pretty big supply.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I'm trying to find number of listings on OpenSea right now. I don't even know where they've hidden that on the.
Yeah, it's a little. You have to like click the little 3 bars, the descending 3 bars, and there's 422 listed on OpenSea.
So then, yeah, it's not including, because there's.
I don't think that includes the strategy.
Yeah,
so
644 in their wallet. So yeah, 644 plus the like a little over 1,000 listed in a supply of 1,000. Not great.
And they're what, 7,000 collection?
Yeah, 69.
Yeah, 69, right? And I think we're not picking on these. I actually am a holder and a fan of both projects, so I'm not picking on them. Yeah, Chimpers, there's 300 listed, and I don't know how many in the in the strategy. So I do agree. Whoever had mentioned it, like this does work in a bullish position, right? And in a bullish market, or whatever you want to call it, if a project is in a bullish position, then the flywheel definitely picks up, because people are maybe playing arbitrage between what's listed on OpenSea versus what's listed on the TokenWorks website, right? So if there's a differential between the two that's good enough, traders may speculate to say, okay, let me grab off A because there's an ARB. So there's something there.
Yep.
But on a big announcement, when you have a ton of sales or you have some big sweeps or whatever, yeah, like the token's going to get burned, the flywheel's moving. The one concern that I don't know if Cap, if you saw, but there's a new one, and I didn't really know what it was at first, but they were talking about an airdrop, and Quirky's rated it, and then we got put in. It's macro strategy, and their like tokenomics came out, and they basically their take on this, and I think they're like gonna snapshot for the airdrop is soon. They're launching like in the next few days. From what I understood, their strategy lists the NFTs even if like it's going down. So it doesn't list them 1.1 or 1.2 above the floor. It buys the NFTs and lists them down. So it could be like a martingale scenario where, if the market's going backwards, it's building the sell wall all the way down, as opposed to, I think, the way that this other stuff works, it listed like 1.2 above the floor, which I guess they both have the same effect. One seems far more aggressive than the next.
This, by the way, it does, the airdrop registration ends at 2 p.m. Eastern today. It was on my list. It's on top of my to-do list because I also still hold some of the tokens. I've not really read much into it. It just seemed like probably one of those things where, so 2 things worth registering for: this, and then Art Blocks has teased that something's coming, and you want to make sure you register for whatever they have coming up. But yeah, this one ends at 2 p.m. Eastern today if you wanted to take action and be eligible for whatever they have coming. I plan to register. I'll need to do some additional research. It's something I want to participate in. But yeah,
I want to do that.
Good reminder. Appreciate it, Poppy. Von Fretten, I saw you fly back up. What say you? Where did we? I've lost my train of thought again. I saw the hand earlier. What were we talking about? Or feel free to take it wherever you'd like, since we've started thinking macro strategy.
Oh no, it was on the strategy topic. So no, I agree. Maybe to build on Poppy's kind of point, right? Like whether it's revenue, it's like you just need outside capital, right? So this thing, we're in a bull market. Like the bull market would push the flywheel. Companies putting revenue back into the token or the underlying asset, that's outside capital. You need something. You just can't have, in the same way we always say, Web3 or whatever won't grow if we're just selling to each other. These strategy tokens won't grow if it's just a token selling to an NFT collection and the NFT collection selling back to the token, right? Like you need a third player, and whether that third player is just the general market coming in because there's a reason to buy, or the company itself coming in and infusing capital, like you need some third leg on this stool for it to stand up. The thing, and I was skeptical of it at first, and I think we still have yet to play out, but what Rect is doing with their strategy token, I think is interesting, of tying it to the token, not the NFT. I think is something that, again, like I was very like, what the hell are they doing? They already have a token. This is distracting. This is dilutive. This is blah, blah, blah. But then, thanks to some, I think, really smart conversations that we had in the war room, like, well, yeah, no, it creates basically a transparent market maker now. And so there's a whale out there who is transparent. We know exactly how that whale is going to operate. They're not going to dump on our heads because there's rules associated with how that whale is going to operate. And whether it's providing support on the low end or, potentially some sell walls on the top end, but like we know it's predictable. And that's one thing that I think, go back to, decentralization and things like that. We like it when the hidden cabal can't dump on us. These strategy tokens, when deployed against ERC20s, aren't the secret cabal that can dump on us, right? Like there's rules set aside with it. So I still think you need the external capital. So that's why I'm saying, like, knowing that, in this case, Rect does allocate a percentage of their revenue, or at least, a portion of their revenue from time to time to go buy back Rect coin. And can that be like, hey, when the flywheel starts to slow down or stop, is that the little push every now and then that maybe gets it back going? We'll see. But I do think that there, in theory, can be use cases for these things, if you have that third leg. And again, that third leg's got to be some sort of external capital coming either from the market or the company itself.
Yeah, good take. I think I tend to agree. Go ahead, Poppy.
Yeah, 100%. I was just gonna say, like, if you look at Chimpers, right? They have this huge social presence. I think it's now by numbers at least the biggest social presence of all Web3 and NFT IP. And if you look at that, if they can work how to monetize that following and how to merchandise that following and convert, and they have steady revenues, 30, 40, 50,000 a month. I'm just giving an example. And they can then put a portion of that back to the token. I would say that would become a very exciting opportunity. And I think that, there's only a few people, to your point. I think Rect is a really good team that'll figure it out and lean in. But it has the third leg of the stool is the perfect example on front. That it can't just be another layer of continuation to the already existing ecosystem, right? Where people are just, now it's like a friction point, right? Now I've got to buy the token to get the NFTs, but it's the same people. I think the one appeal is that for me, from the outside looking in, the one appeal, especially the beginning, is that you would have a lot of people participating in projects that they normally wouldn't participate in. You had a lot of like OGs or punks or people that normally focus on maybe just a handful of projects now jumping into some of these other smaller projects. I thought that was a cool benefit. But it seems like the initial hype phase ended very quickly. And now it's just okay, here's a tool. If you lean into it, it's going to work, but you have to lean into it with the third party, the third factor. I don't think we could be more aligned. And I that's why I'm even hesitant to move forward at this stage for us, because until there's a solid, real world rev, it just seems like a bit more of the same.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm out on them for now. I'm going to keep paying attention and see what else comes. But yeah, I'm on the sidelines and just going to observe. I'm getting some lost connection to screen share audio. I think we're okay on my audio, but I was just going to show you. Yeah, Chimpers has a cool 1.1 million followers on Instagram. Some others could probably top their total social presence, but on IG, I do believe they are the largest of the crypto natives. Got a couple getting some love from Toot in the chat. The gentleman speaking spot on right now. And then last but not least, we'll get you all out of here with this one. It is prediction market season, if you weren't quite aware of that yet. Here's the Google interest, people searching for prediction markets. This spike yesterday was driven largely in part by the Google partnership with both Kalshi and Polymarket. So things to be paying attention to. I do believe it's first inning-ish on the prediction market space, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. That said, it's a Friday. Appreciate all of our guest speakers, Poppy, Machiavelli, Von Front, Oxy, all real ones. Appreciate all of our guests today and throughout the week. Some fun stuff lined up for next week, including going live on Zora streaming. You're not going to miss that. I said Monday. We may go live on Monday so that our Coffee with Captain fam can participate if you want. We're talking a token that likely will go to zero because we're not going to support it. We're not going to pump any real world revenues into it. We're not going to do buybacks. It's simply a requirement to go live over there. But if you want to have some fun, if you want to, I don't know. We may do some other fun stuff with it, but don't buy it with any expectation of any sort of financial return whatsoever. But I'm hoping it unlocks, new platform for us. Maybe we find some new community members. Again, welcome to Anthony today, who found us via YouTube discovery. And last but not least, if you've not hit that newsletter, coffeewithcaptain.com, go drop your email in there, and you'll get the recap later this afternoon. Machiavelli, go ahead and get in here, and then I'll take it from.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm kind of excited about the Zora token, even though we're not supporting it, and I believe I'm co-hosting on Monday, so that's just really exciting to see you going on a new platform, and I'm here to support it, brother.
Appreciate you, and yeah, we do have a fun guest. I'll hit you up after as well for joining us Monday around 9. Should be a good deep dive there, and fun weekend. Here's everyone flying today. Good luck. Hope you get out. It's free roll for me. I'd love to. My brother, I've shared thing previously. My brother's 40th birthday. I'd love to be there and celebrate. Flight gets canceled. We'll make the most of our weekend here in Tampa and enjoy the weather. Actually, I'm going to look for the first time. I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm looking for the weather in Cincinnati. Oh my goodness, it came. I must be in Germany right now because it said 14 degrees and I about fell out of my chair, but it's 14 degrees Celsius. So that converts to 57, a little better. I
must be in Germany right now. I'm going to use that. I must be in Germany.
If it was truly 14 degrees Fahrenheit, I was about to text my brother and my mother and just say, hey, my flight got canceled. Sorry, I can't make it. My bones hurt just thinking about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, but 57 I can do. Low of 44. I'm out of there Sunday morning. I fly out like 5 a.m. And so I'm going to go from a low of 28 degrees to a balmy like 75 and sunny on my way home. So if I have some sort of sinus infection or something next week on the show, blame you Midwesterners and your crazy weather up there. I don't know who could live in that environment. I kid. Thank you all. Appreciate it. You all have a great weekend. And as my buddy Steve would say, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.